Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Sadly, no Tucker in this one because I did something a little bit different, or didn't do something that I normally do with this one, and do a full solo walk around performance review because I've already been in this vehicle in Wisconsin, so I figured I didn't need it. But after living with it for a week, I do have some thoughts that I don't think I've completely covered in our family review or in my off-road review. So in this video, we're going to talk a little more performance specs and talk about if we're actually upgrading our Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk, this Grand Cherokee. Stay tuned. Okay, Holly, thank you for joining me on this one.
You're welcome.
And my captive audience over here for my solo review, I guess, because you and I are on our way to Charleston for another driving impressions video, which you've probably already seen in the Hyundai Kona. But yeah, we're on the highway, 2-hour drive to Dallas in a plug-in hybrid, the second best-selling plug-in hybrid on the market.
Yep.
And you and I have spent time in another plug-in hybrid from this family of brands in the Chrysler Pacifica. There's a lot different, but a lot the same between that and this. So the Pacifica had a bigger V6 engine and no way to tell the vehicle what to do. Like,
Right.
It burned through the electricity like that on our road trip. Like it drank it. Just slurped it up.
Shot it.
And this would do the exact same thing if I put it in hybrid or electric mode. But I currently, since we have 2 hours of Texas highway speeds ahead of us, I have it in ESave, which I will say, out of those 3 modes, there is not a single one that turns this into a complete electric vehicle or a complete gas-only vehicle. It's always some variation of a hybrid. So ESave, the gauge cluster will even tell you, saves the electricity for when it needs it, which would be under quick acceleration, like merging onto the highway, which I did. And I can attest to this thing being fast, 375 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. It's got like Bronco Raptor levels of power, but in a very nice package on the inside. Very comfortable, much more comfortable than the Bronco Raptor. But it still wants to use those electrons when it can. So I had this plugged up, unplugged it for this trip at 98%. We're down to 95. I do have max regen on, but I have been watching that percentage kind of dance around 95 percentage points the entire trip so far. Once we get into Dallas traffic, I am going to hit the electric button and we'll drive around in electric mode. And then that brings us to electric mode. That wants to use all the electricity as quickly as it can without, well, not as quickly as it can, but that wants to use all the electricity primarily. But again, under fast acceleration, the 2-liter 4-cylinder will come on rather smoothly and help give you that extra power. Holly's actually got the power breakdown over there. How much on the horsepower, what is that first number in parentheses?
270.
So this has 270 horsepower from that 4-cylinder alone, and then all the rest is made up by that electric motor sandwiched in between the engine and transmission. And then the torque, kind of same situation. We get a decent amount from that 4-cylinder turbo, but the electric motor backs us up to give us the rest. To give you the most power output is using both propulsion systems.
Yep.
So, and then you can switch over to hybrid mode, which again wants to use all the electricity first and foremost. And at highway speeds like this, it's just going to drink that electricity down until you get, as it says up here, less than 1% of battery, and then it works like a traditional hybrid, which is what we saw when we were driving around the Chrysler Pacifica e-hybrid. We got on the highway after charging it up, and it just drank that electricity and then worked like a normal hybrid.
Yeah.
So I like that this has an ESave mode. It allows me to wait and use those electrons for when we get into city traffic, stop and go. Because I've noticed, go ahead and take this back from you. I've noticed that the engine and the 8-speed transmission can kind of be a little herky-jerky in stop and go situations. And I noticed it even more when I was off-roading. Electric drive is the absolute smoothest operation in this vehicle. It's what you liked the best.
That's what I like the best, yeah.
It just works the best. We've said for a while, electric vehicles make perfect luxury vehicles, and it really translates here. What's odd to me is the packaging of this vehicle. For 2023, the only way to get the off-road oriented Trailhawk is to get the 4xe. You can't get the big V6 anymore. You can't get the V8 anymore. You have to get the plug-in hybrid, which is powerful, as we've attested to.
Sure.
But is overly complicated. Much like the adaptive suspension, it's overly complicated. I feel like this vehicle would be better served with the big V6 or the Hemi under the hood in a traditional suspension, and it would be a whole lot cheaper, because the value proposition of this vehicle doesn't exist for me. I went on Jeep's website and built a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xe, which is way more capable than this off-road, for the same price as this.
So it's not doing either one the best.
Yeah, it's
too expensive for just a regular everyday family car.
Yeah, and
but
not good enough
to be an off-road vehicle.
Right. So, not quite sure who this vehicle is for when there are other trims, many other trims in the Grand Cherokee lineup, and there is a lot to like about the Grand Cherokee. I personally like the boxy styling. Boxy styling is in. It translates to excellent visibility. The windows are huge. We have the rear view camera mirror here, but with the roof open and the sun rising behind us, I actually flipped it to just standard rear view mirror, and the back window is big and boxy. This is a very squared off rear view mirror. I mean, visibility out of this is great. Fit and finish is fairly good. There are a few things that kind of leave me wondering, where if we had gotten the Summit Reserve, all this would be wrapped in leather. I'm sure it would be attached a little bit better, but it seems like a very nice vehicle. We've got Capri leather, not Napa leather.
No.
Let me know if you know the difference between the two, because I don't. Simulated suede inserts. We do have heat and ventilation. Back seats are heated. It's rather nice and luxurious in here. You've got a screen over there all to yourself, which is kind of overkill, and there's a lot of glare on it. We've got the sunshades built in back there, but
which we like.
We're missing head-up display. We're missing just a few things at $73,000 that I would expect to have.
Yeah.
We were recently in the big Nissan Armada Platinum.
Right.
Big 3-row SUV, which costs less than this. Not as capable off-road, not as efficient on the road, but I think it speaks more to what at least Texans want, is a big truck-based SUV. We really liked that one. Had more room in it because it was a 3-row. And
this one's not a 3-row.
No, you can get the Grand Cherokee in a 3-row. I like the styling of the 2-row better, and the 2-row fits in our garage.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, this is just a weird vehicle to me all the way around. I think if I were shopping Grand Cherokee, even though we have a Trailhawk, we like the Trailhawk that we have in the Cherokee, I don't know that I would buy a Grand Cherokee Trailhawk. I think I would go either more luxurious, go all out, which can get kind of expensive at $85,000 for a loaded one,
Yeah.
Summit Reserve, but you're getting more.
Yeah.
Or I'd go more affordable because, again, it's a really good platform. It's very familiar to us as Jeep owners. There's not a lot that I dislike other than the value or lack thereof. 73 it's a lot. And I just don't feel like this is a $73,000 vehicle. I don't think we would get all $73,000 out of it if we owned it. It's a tough one for me. And like I said, the platform is good. The ride is comfortable. I like the 4xe technology. But I think between adding the off-road bits and adding the hybrid bits, it's just jacked the price on this one up way too much. To the point where if I really wanted a Jeep off-roader, I'd get a Wrangler Rubicon 4xe for the same price. Or if I really wanted something kind of different, I'd go Bronco. You can get a pretty nice Bronco like that for the price of this. So
yeah,
there are just a lot of other things at this price point that I would shop for over this trim.
This trim.
Yes. We are hoping to get some time in a 3-row Summit Reserve, to which opinions may change. We will see. But
we reserve the right to change our opinions.
Yes, after sampling other trims. All right, gearheads, I did want to show you before we signed off the final numbers here with the vehicle that we've had. We've put over 300 miles on it, almost 400 miles. Some of that's been off-roading. You can see when the gas engine is on, we're averaging 22.3 MPG, which is not bad for a vehicle of this size. And even though I put it in hybrid mode when we got into Dallas proper and all the Dallas traffic, we still have 5 miles of range and 20% to go. So not bad, especially when you look here at this top green number, 122 practically miles of all electric range. Not too bad, not too shabby. Speaking of charging, now would be a good time to talk about Lectron EV chargers. They are the sponsor of this video, and you can see are the way in which we keep our Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe plugged up, charged up, juiced up, and ready to go. If you want to know more about Lectron chargers and support our channel in the process, simply visit the link down in the description below. As for me, living with this one for a week, every time I get in it, I really like it. I go, you know, we could buy this, and then I remember the price tag, and I'm like, we wouldn't buy this. So on that note, if you want to see more from us, you can find us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're notified every time a new video drops. Let us know in the comments if you think this is a $73,000 vehicle, or if you would probably be shopping some other unibody-based off-roader at this price point, or just go full out for a Wrangler Rubicon. But anyway, for us, on the way to Dallas, in the plug-in hybrid, second best selling plug-in hybrid in the States. Until next time, gearheads. Bye. I don't know.